So with tip, I spent a little bit over $5 on the pie, and then I filled up half a tank of gas, and we are ready to hit the I-40 again. Well, I made it to Virginia. This is not my final destination though. My plan was to go to West Virginia, but for some reason,
northeast.
There's a part of Virginia that is further west than West Virginia. That's where I am right now. I have been to Virginia before, but only in the DC area, so it's cool to be in a different region on my way to a state that I've never been to before.
Thank God we've gotten over that one, right?
And this is my first time ever stepping foot in West Virginia. For over a decade now, I have been to every state surrounding West Virginia, but I've not been to West Virginia itself. And that includes the fact that I lived in Ohio for a year. So kind of crazy that I never made it to West Virginia. But I'm finally here now, checking that off the state. So all I have left is most of New England, I think 6 or 7 states. I did not mean to say that, I'm so sorry. An unspecified number of states. Then Michigan, and then North Dakota. So hopefully within the next year or so, I'll finish up on all the states, and then we can move on to some countries, international, maybe go through Latin America or Europe or something like that. Anyway, I have about another hour's drive until I get to my actual destination, which is the newest national park in the United States, New River Gorge. It happens to be right here in West Virginia, and that seemed like a good destination for me since I wanted to make sure I made it to West Virginia. Well, I made it to West Virginia and New River Gorge. The only issue is it didn't take me, my GPS did not take me to like the visitor center or anything. It just took me to a random spot, and now I have to find the visitor center without any cell service. So I just took a picture of a map back here that I parked my car next to. Right now I'm right by a river, so I'm going to enjoy that. I don't know what you guys learned about West Virginia. I did not learn very much. Most of what I learned about this state I learned from, as a child, from the book series Shiloh, if you remember that, about the beagle that the kid finds and rescues. So this kind of reminds me of the town that took place in. I also recently watched the movies, which, yeah, it does look a lot like this. The other thing that I learned about West Virginia was that country road song in music class, you know, like Almost Heaven, West Virginia. So yeah, I think this area encapsulates what I know about West Virginia. So I've been on a wild goose chase for the past hour or so, hour and a half I think, because I had to go up to the visitor center. I finally got to a place where I got service to get directions to the visitor center because the map that I took a picture of in that first stop I made was not very clear. I made it with about 5 minutes to spare before the visitor center closed, so I got all the information I need, filled up my water bottle, went to the bathroom, and then started searching for a campsite. Now the issue is all the campsites are first come, first serve. So, and it turned out that most of the campgrounds are back where I started. I just had to drive a little bit further. I couldn't tell from the map. So I started going through the campgrounds. The first one, completely full, was a very small campground. The second one looks pretty full. I found one pullout that I wasn't very clearly labeled whether or not it was a campsite. It didn't have a no camping spot, you know, sign or anything like the other places do, but it didn't have anything saying it was a campsite. I don't know. So I'm going to hang out here for a while. If I have to leave, then I have to leave. My backup is to get a hotel room in town. They aren't too expensive, and I still have hotels.com credit, so it won't actually cost me money anyways. But for now, I'm going to enjoy this campground by the riverside and have some dinner. I know this trip was kind of based around spontaneity, but I could have brought my kayak and my hammock. But it's okay, I still have a good camping setup. As long as I'm allowed to camp here. For now, we'll just have hummus. I found this on clearance yesterday, which I thought was appropriate for this kind of trip. If Winnie the Pooh never taught you how to play Pooh sticks, now's your chance. So we've got this Y-shaped stick, a long stick, and a piece of bark. Go to the other side. And let's see who we see first. If any of them are going to come through. They might have been buried by the rapids. But normally, you're supposed to see which one comes through first. Works better when it's not quite as rapidy of a river. Alright, round 2 for Pooh sticks. We'll see if we can get it to work this time. Over here, I'm afraid it might have gotten stuck on that log, so we'll try tossing it over here. Alright, they're going. Let's see if they come out the other side. Oh, there they are! By that big rock. Yay! We have a winner! I've seen a ton of blackberry bushes around here. Too bad they're not ripe for the picking yet. But since it's midsummer right now, it is very hot. If I don't camp here tonight, it's probably going to be because I just got overheated and decided to call it, go to a hotel that had air conditioning. That would be really helpful. I just dropped my water bottle. Ugh. But I think I can make it tonight because this is a pretty shaded area. My car's parked in the shade. I won't, be using heavy blankets or anything. So I think I'll survive, but I don't think I'll be doing this for 2 nights. I'll leave tomorrow. I have a wheelchair accessible trail that goes right along the river. That's so cool! Knee deep in the river is a pretty cool way to end a day. Let's play a little game of Is My Car Camouflaged? Since I'm sleeping in the back of my car, there shouldn't be too much setup. I still gotta lay the mattress out and move all this other junk. Turns out my hammock was in my car this whole time, so I could set it up if I wanted to. The only issue is a lot of these trees have poison ivy. I am all set up in the back of my car. So I'm going to finish getting ready for bed and I will probably read myself to sleep and then see you tomorrow. Good morning. I slept pretty well this night, actually better than the hotel the night before, which was kind of funny. So I'm getting ready. I did just check the car to make sure the coolant was okay because it has been really hot. It's been fine, so we can close this. Now I'm going to eat breakfast by the river and probably go on about my day. The only issue with camping in my car is that once I take my car away from a campsite, it's no longer reserved for me. So I'm gonna move on anyways. Probably go to a place where I can get cell service so I can figure out exactly where I want to go next. But I think today we'll start heading through Kentucky after spending as much time as I want here at the national park. Got to watch those rafters launch, and I've got a bowl of cereal. I've also got some rolls and Nutella and some milk to mix my matcha with. So it's gonna be a good morning. Saying goodbye to the river, at least for now. I'm gonna head back to the visitor center that I was at yesterday, which I do hate driving back and forth this much, but it's what needed to happen because there's a great bridge overlook right there, and I think that's the main feature of this park is seeing this amazing bridge. I drove over the bridge, but haven't actually seen it from any other angle. So that'll be fun. And then there's also cell phone service up at the visitor center, so I'll be able to figure out what I want to do next. Stopping on the side of the road because I saw this really cool sight that I want to actually get out of the car for. You can probably already hear it. Check out this waterfall. So cool. It goes all the way up there. And then it goes under the street. I can hear it on the other side. Let's see. Yep, and it keeps going out here, all the way down to the river down there. This is the most expensive gas I've seen on this entire trip, so I'm not going to get too much. So now we're gonna take a look at this bridge, but first we gotta cross this bridge. We can get a better view, but it's gonna be 178 steps each way. We got this. 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 109. And we made it. This is the longest arch bridge in the continent, which is going over one of the oldest rivers in the continent. So it is a little weird that it's called the New River. So I decided that I'm going to go on the Scenic Drive to see a little bit more of the national park, and then I'm going to head into town to get some ice cream, because have you really been to a state if you haven't had their ice cream? And then after that I'll go into Kentucky and get more ice cream eventually. So this driving tour is only 8 miles, but it's supposed to take 45 minutes. But the significance of it is that this is what you had to drive before that big bridge got built, so you're kind of going on a drive down history. Okay, I saw these guys getting ready for their experience, but that's kind of cool. Now I am under the bridge. I was just up there a few minutes ago, and now I'm down here. And I can even see the exact platform I looked off of. I was right there not that long ago. It looks like somebody's up there now. Those guys up there were just waving at me, but now I'm gonna head under the bridge just to say that I've been under the bridge too. Maybe not the same way they did, but you know, everybody's gotta do their own thing. And here I go, under the bridge. Here are my new friends up there. I don't know their names, I guess they're not really my friends. I don't have any friends in West Virginia. Sad. This is cool. You can see all the trestles. That's what they're called, right? I should know more about bridges. I'm interested in architecture, not that I want to do it or anything, I just enjoy looking at unique architecture. But yeah. I have officially crossed underneath the new River Gorge Bridge. Okay, honestly, after looking at them doing this for a couple minutes, I am kind of jealous. I'm used to being at heights and stuff, but this would be probably the highest height I ever have done, other than skydiving, I guess. So, and that one I would not be harnessed in, at least to anything other than the parachute. Oh yeah, I guess I've also been on the Willis Tower, but that was, you know, I was inside on the sky deck. I just stepped out onto a platform, but I was still inside. Actually, the distance from there to this ground is probably less than the Willis Tower, but from here all the way down to the river That's gotta be the coolest tower for sure. And here is the original bridge. It actually had a real pedestrian pathway, not one you had to gear up and walk under. It's looking over the river. Very cool. You can see it's much lower than the new bridge. Closer to the earth. Cute bear ice cream statue. Cashews and caramel. Alright, so I am doing a little bit of change of plans, but you know, this trip is all about being spontaneous anyways. So I'm not going to go get ice cream in Kentucky because that was enough for me for today. I don't know, I'm just not as into ice cream anymore as I used to be. So I'm still going to go to Kentucky though. I'm going to spend the night there. I'm going to cross the street right now, sorry. Alright, crossing the street. Alright. I'm going to spend the night there, but not in this place I was expecting. I'm actually going to go a little bit further north than what I was originally planning to do. I'm going to spend the night there, right next to the Ark Encounter, which I've never been to before. But the only other time I've been to Kentucky in the past, which was, what, like 12 years ago, I went to the Creation Museum. The Ark Encounter didn't exist at the time. So I finally get to go see the Ark Encounter, which is the companion to the Creation Museum. Well, I still get to enjoy the drive through West Virginia. I'm enjoying it. Goodbye.